Imagine an organization operating at maximum capacity. The teams are working aggressively, internal output is high, and top-line revenue is scaling. Yet, if you ask the leadership exactly where the company will be in 36 months, they cannot give you a specific answer. This specific organizational state is known as directionless growth. Hitting quarterly sales targets often provides a false sense of security, but speed without a specific destination is simply burning through resources. Achieving high operational efficiency is irrelevant if your daily tasks are not explicitly linked to a geographic map for the company's future survival. A strategic roadmap serves as a technical blueprint, aligning current organizational capabilities with a specific long-term vision. We construct this blueprint using McKinsey's 3 horizons of growth. This framework exists to solve a specific problem, preventing executives from getting trapped in immediate daily problem-solving. We then pair that framework with an asymmetric resource allocation model popularized by Google. Because a vision requires strict mathematical constraints to actually materialize, unified growth is impossible unless you decouple your strategies across different timelines and enforce rigid boundaries around your resources. This chart plots the 2 foundational axes of organizational survival. The x-axis tracks time, stretching from 0 to 10 years. The y-axis measures total value and growth. The first curve is Horizon 1, for the next 0 to 12 months. The primary directive here is to defend and extend your core business. This is managed by your line managers, who focus on extracting maximum efficiency and cash flow before the market eventually plateaus. The second curve is Horizon 2, spanning 1 to 3 years. Here, you focus on building emerging businesses by applying your existing organizational capabilities to newly validated models or adjacent markets. The final curve is Horizon 3, looking out 3 to 5 years and beyond. This is the realm of disruptive, pre-revenue innovation. These are the experimental bets that generate your future options, eventually becoming the next decade's Horizon 1. The most common executive error is assuming these curves represent sequential steps. They do not. An organization must fund and execute all 3 horizons simultaneously. If leadership falls in love with the disruptive vision of Horizon 3, they frequently overfund it. They siphon money away from their legacy operations, causing their immediate cash flow to dry up. To prevent this trap, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt utilized the 70-20-10 rule. It mathematically dictates the exact distribution of your capital and manpower. Here is the necessary math. 70% of your resources flow directly into Horizon 1. You must secure your baseline operations because they pay for everything else. 20% is allocated to exploring adjacent markets in Horizon 2, while the final 10% is strictly reserved for high-risk experimental research in Horizon 3. True strategic vision requires strict boundaries. You aggressively fund the present to buy the right to explore the future. Consider Siam Auto Parts. They are a legacy manufacturer producing components for internal combustion engines. With the global transition to electric vehicles, their core product faces obsolescence within 10 years. Their Horizon 1 strategy commands 70% of their attention. They stop chasing new clients for combustion engines. Instead, they ruthlessly optimize their legacy production lines to cut costs and build a massive war chest. They take 20% of those profits and channel them into Horizon 2. They buy machinery and redirect engineering talent to produce EV-agnostic parts, like suspension systems and brakes, capturing revenue in a shifting market. The final 10% funds Horizon 3 innovation. Siam Auto Parts launched open research projects with universities to develop battery sensors, a speculative technology play with high failure risk. An existential pivot is not achieved by shutting down your legacy operations overnight. It is achieved by systematically milking your dying core to fund your own disruption. Without strict enforcement, a strategy map becomes useless paper within months. Using the Shindanshi lens diagnostics, we can spot the operational failures that cause this. When legacy revenue dips, panicked leaders often drain capital away from future projects, collapsing the entire timeline. The first trap is a metric mismatch. Judging a Horizon 3 innovation by Horizon 1 profitability standards guarantees its death. You must measure early-stage projects by validated learning, not immediate returns. The second trap is resource cannibalization. You must build a firewall around your experimental teams. They cannot be drafted to rescue a short-term downturn in your legacy sales. The third trap is budget alignment. A company's actual vision is dictated by its ledger, not its mission statement. If 95% of your capital expenditure goes toward legacy maintenance, you are not building a new future. A roadmap only survives if strict financial boundaries and decoupled metrics protect the long-term projects from immediate operational panic. Effective leadership requires mastering simultaneous temporal management, balancing today's operational stability with tomorrow's strategic growth. You must maintain the cash flow of today while vigorously defending the 10% allocation that secures your existence tomorrow. Now, many smaller enterprises argue that this model requires massive capital reserves. In our next breakdown, we will examine how agile business models and guerrilla tactics can bypass the need for raw funding entirely. Sustainable growth is never an accident. It is mathematically balanced, aggressively protected, and temporally separated.